All right, so we're here in Mount Airy, Maryland. We're here with Tom. We talked a little bit off camera. You told me about the fact that you're in the business of doing like ghost hunting, ghost adventure type shoots. That's really interesting. I had my camera person pull out the camera straight away. I said, this sounds like a very interesting topic to get into. Tell me about that and what started that. So first of all, I guess the first question would be, what is it that you specifically do?
It's called Paranormal Investigating, and
Right.
it's a play on words. Paranormal doesn't necessarily mean ghosts or spirits.
Sure.
It just means it can't be explained by scientific means.
Exactly.
So
So that's what you do. It's paranormal investigating.
we go out and we talk to the spirits and listen to what they have to say.
Yeah, right. So what is involved in that? Like when you go out and this is like, when you say investigations, I assume this means cameras, like EVP recordings, the digital element is there, I presume, yes?
Yeah, and just to put it in layman's terms, an EVP is an electronic voice phenomena.
Correct.
Or a disembodied voice
Uh-huh.
captured on audio. Everyone tends to use all the equipment with the bells and whistles and pretty lights and toggle switches. That's okay. But the best equipment is our human bodies, our human senses. And that seems to work the best for me. I tell people you can have 20/20 vision and the best hearing in the world, but that doesn't mean you're going to see and hear them.
Right.
You kind of have to get in that zone and believe in the spirits.
So what you're saying is that your physical human body sensory outweighs any technology. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. And we all have the ability. You kind of
sense.
just have to tap
Yeah.
into it. Now, a lot of people say, why do we do it at night? I think it's for the wow factor.
Yeah.
But some people say that if you eliminate one of your major senses, like at nighttime, you take away your eyesight, your hearing perks up. But amazingly enough, majority, like over 95% of my evidence is gathered during the day.
Really?
It's less intimidating. Most people don't get scared doing this during the day, but that's what I found out. The spirits are around us all the time. And they're waiting to interact with us, and we just have to acknowledge that they're there.
Yeah.
And once you start that line of communication, it just opens up the floodgates, and then you become a spirit magnet.
So when did you first start getting involved in this? Like, what was it that stuck out to you that said, man, I gotta get into paranormal investigating?
Well, this started about 17 years ago. I was raised
17? Wow, okay.
in a Christian home, a Christian family, and if you read the Bible, there's many mentions of ghosts and spirits.
Yeah.
And we all come from different walks of life, and we all have our different beliefs, but everyone is curious to what comes after you take that last breath on this earth. What
Correct.
comes later?
Do you have an idea?
I think, I believe, my personal beliefs that there is a heaven and there's a hell. There are demons, but normally I don't come in contact with them because I just have good energy wherever I go. So normally I don't attract that negative stuff. They sort of stay away.
Yeah. So you said you've been doing this for 17 years.
That's correct.
I imagine you've seen a thing or two in that time.
Yeah, and people say,
What do you see?
Tom, do you ever get scared? And the only time I got scared
That's a great question.
it was in a cemetery,
Yeah.
and a rabbit ran out in front of me. But normally, doing what I do, if something happens, I go towards it. A lot of what I call them fakes, but they're out there doing what I'm doing, and if they hear a sound or see something, they're hightailing it out. They're scared and they're never coming back.
Wow.
But I tell people I take this very serious, but I have a sense of humor, and it doesn't get better than this.
So what is the most eeriest thing that you have either recorded or came up on during these investigations?
Oh, that's pretty easy, and a lot's happened.
Yeah,
with
I imagine
me.
over 17 years you've seen a lot. You've probably been through the ringer, but what sticks out to you?
Me and one other investigator were doing this historic home, and we were there many times in the past.
Sure.
The phone rings. I answer it.
This is at night.
This is at night, like 9:15 at night. The woman says, "This is Janet. You must be Jason. How are the grandkids?" I thought this woman sounded like she was in her 80s. I said, "Could you please speak up? You're hard to hear." And she said, "Is it any better?" I said, "Not really." Once again, she took control of the conversation. "Hi, this is Janet. How are the grandkids?" And I felt somehow the wrong number came through. So I said, "Janet, someone's at the front door. I'll have to call you back."
Right.
So the first time the phone rang, me and the other investigator, Jan, we heard it. So we said, "Janet, this is after I hung up. Janet, was that you that just called?" And we both heard, "Yes." like a raspy female voice. We have that documented. So then we say, could you please call us back? So we're sitting there a good 20, 25 minutes. The phone doesn't ring. So we thought, but the phone did ring. But the second time it was in their realm, like an EVP. So the audio recorder picked up the EVP. And then we find out, to make a long story short, that Janet died there in that house in 1832. And she had a grandson, Jason.
Wow.
And they're buried in that town. So that was exciting.
So if somebody has a haunted house or some place that they suspect paranormal activity is taking place, how do they get in contact with you? How does that work? Do they reach out to you and say, hey, we got a haunted house?
We're on social media at this time. It's just Facebook, so you can find us at Through the Veil Investigations. Through the Veil.
So that was going to be my next question is, if people want to contact you or if people want to see the work that you do, the paranormal activity work that you conduct, where can they find you? You can just say that again.
Through the Veil Investigations.
Through the Veil Investigations.
You can private message us on there. If you're I'd say within 100, 150 miles, that we will come to your residence and we'll do a private investigation. Or if you own a business, if you have family like grandparents and you think their house may be haunted, we'll come there. We'll do the investigation. We never charge for our services. We're nonprofit.
Very cool.
But we compile everything, put it on a CD or a thumb drive, the audio, the video, the picture, the static picture evidence, and then we present it. We have a reveal, and then we sit down and talk to the homeowners.
Is your goal to sort of change hearts as it relates to people's beliefs on paranormal activity? Some people believe it doesn't exist. So how does that factor into what you do? Do you try to change people's mind about that?
I don't try to change minds.
Okay.
I don't even try to tell people how to do it.
Yeah.
But I pretty much tell them, these are my experiences and this is how I do it.
Yeah.
Some people might have different talents, different ways of doing it. They might be empaths, they might be psychics. I'm clairaudient, so I can hear the spirits talk.
Really?
So it's very interesting. And the old saying is, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but when you can hear a spirit speak your name, like Tom, it doesn't get better than that. That's pretty awesome.
And that happens?
Yes.
Wow.
Quite often.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, that is really interesting. And with 17 years of experience, I'm sure you've seen and done it all. Thank you very much for sort of providing.
And I have to do this quick 20-second skit, okay?
No, please, go right ahead.
Pretend you're standing in front of me right now.
Yes,
Pretend you're a ghost. You're invisible to me. I don't see you.
Well, if I stood behind that skinny pole right there, I would be invisible.
Okay.
You couldn't see me.
So we're assuming I can't see you, but you can see me. Now, say hello to me.
Hello.
I turn and walk away. I didn't hear you. I can't see you. Now, you as a ghost, you'd probably go back to whatever ghosts and spirits do because I'm not interacting with you.
Right.
But if I walk into a room,
hear me.
Right. Now, if I walk into a room and I'll say something like, "Hi, my name is Tom. I can't see you, but I know you're here. Could you please tell me your first name?" And then the interaction starts. Then all of a sudden, they're talking back and forth.
Wow.
And a majority of what they say, we can't pick up either with our ears or our audio equipment, but there's always a few things, a few key phrases or words that we will pick up.
Right.
And that's the most important.
Uh-huh.
We learn from them, and I think they might even learn from us.
Yeah, I think so. But you're saying that you have that sensory power to be able to hear them live in person.
Yes.
That is so fascinating.
We call that in real time versus the electronic voice phenomena.
What do you call it? What do you call it in real time?
That's just
real time.
It's just real time.
You can hear it in real time, the communications and the speaking. Wow. That is so interesting.
And me being the audio tech for our group, I'll do audio, sometimes several hours, and I'll ask these questions, and at that moment, I won't know if I'm getting responses until a week or two later when I do the audio engineering and re-listen to it.
Right.
So now, if anyone watches these paranormal shows, they call it an EVP burst, where they'll do an audio for like 1 minute, and then they'll play it back, and then if they do get a response, they can start interacting right away.
Yeah. Huh, interesting. So do you have a person that handles like the digital side of this?
No, we pretty much, all of our team members come from different walks of life.
Cool.
We have different
How many
beliefs.
people do you have?
Right now we have 7 on our team.
Wow, this is a legitimate operation. Wow, 7 people. That's really cool. And do you all investigate at the same time?
Usually.
You all get together? Okay.
Yes, yep.
How often do you do like a house or a business, or like how often is this?
It varies. Sometimes we'll stack them up, and sometimes we'll have a dry spell where we don't have anything. So then we just go out to keep us on our toes. We might just go to a local cemetery and just keep us, alert, and so we don't forget what we're doing.
Is there ever like scheduling issues? I imagine with 7 people, it can
sometimes
sort of be, yeah.
So we try to plan everything that the majority or everyone can show up.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. That would make sense, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else to add?
Not this time, except that we all have the ability to do what I'm doing. And like,
how do we do it?
You just go out and you create your own path. You can watch reality shows on TV like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, The Dead Files,
yeah,
and maybe use what they do on TV for a basis. But we each have to create our own path, what we believe in, what we want to get out of it, and what our own personal beliefs are.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you very much. That was very informative.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. That sounds like, with 17 years, I'm sure you have an immense amount of stories and a wealth of experience in this field, but it's a very interesting topic, and there are a lot of people like yourself who take great interest in it, and it's interesting because it's the unknown, right? It's what we don't know, and that's really the neat part of it. So thank you.
And I just, on that note, just be careful if you invite someone into your house.
Sure.
There's no professionals in this field because it's the unknown.
It is the unknown.
Just be alert. There's scammers out there that will take you for your money, and they say, well, we'll do exorcisms and whatnot. Just be careful. It's the unknown, so there's no professionals out there. So if you contact someone, I know, put your faith and trust in Through the Veil Investigations. Just be careful, because there's people out there that don't know what they're doing, and they just want to take you for your money.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, good piece of word of advice to close out. So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
It's been
Appreciate
good.
it.
Absolutely.